Let me ask somebody who know me for real, right? Who really know me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear.
I think you have.
Do you think I'm like from
what she got?
I think she's heavy. I think
Video ain't really the issue. The video being posted up on social media is the issue. If someone would have sent her that video privately, she and I would have had one conversation about it.
For over a decade, Tiny Harris and Shekinah Anderson were the definition of sisterhood. From reality TV fame to business ventures, their chemistry felt unshakable. Fans of T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle, watched their friendship blossom on screen. The calm, nurturing Tiny balanced perfectly with Shekinah's loud, hilarious, and unapologetically real personality. Together, they gave audiences that raw Atlanta energy, two women who had each other's backs no matter what. But as we've seen time and time again in the world of fame, not every friendship survives the pressure of rumors, relationships, and betrayal. And when those rumors involve your husband, especially a man with as controversial a past as T.I., everything changes. The cracks in Tiny and Shekinah's friendship didn't happen overnight. According to people close to them, there were subtle signs of tension even back when the cameras were rolling. Tiny, who had always been more reserved, started distancing herself quietly from certain circles. Shekinah, on the other hand, was becoming increasingly outspoken, often defending both Tiny and T.I. on social media whenever scandals arose. Some fans admired her loyalty, but others began to question whether her defense of T.I. went beyond friendship. Because let's be real, there's a thin line between having someone's back and being too involved in their personal business. It all seemed innocent enough at first. Shekinah was known to be around the Harris family frequently. She was practically part of the household, doing Tiny's hair, attending family events, helping with creative projects, and being there for emotional support whenever rumors about T.I.'s alleged infidelities hit the blogs. But the whispers started around the time Tiny and T.I. went through their very public rough patch a few years back. Fans noticed Shekinah's tone changing online. She wasn't just defending Tiny anymore. She started defending T.I. too, in ways that some people found oddly personal. During one infamous Instagram Live, Shekinah went on a passionate rant addressing accusations against T.I., calling people liars and insisting that everyone was dragging his name unfairly. What should have been a moment of loyalty raised some eyebrows. Viewers commented things like, "Why does Shekinah sound like she's the one protecting T.I.? Where's Tiny in all this?" And while Tiny stayed mostly silent, insiders say that moment didn't sit right with her. She appreciated Shekinah's loyalty, but couldn't help wondering why her best friend was so invested in defending her husband's image. As weeks turned into months, the gossip began snowballing. Screenshots surfaced of DMs, unverified messages, and speculative insider claims suggesting that Shekinah and T.I. had been seen together without Tiny around. Most of it couldn't be confirmed, but it planted a seed of doubt that kept growing. When fans noticed Tiny unfollowing Shekinah briefly on Instagram, the internet exploded with theories. Blogs ran wild. Tiny and Shekinah, friendship on the rocks? Did Shekinah cross the line with T.I.? Some thought it was nothing more than another social media misunderstanding. But behind the scenes, things were reportedly getting tense and deeply personal. People close to Tiny say she started feeling uncomfortable with how often Shekinah would mention T.I. in conversation. It wasn't necessarily flirty, but it was noticeable. Little comments about how fine he looked or how strong-minded he was. At first, Tiny brushed it off, thinking that Shekinah was just being playful. But eventually, that playful energy began to feel more like emotional intimacy. And when a friend starts acting more familiar with your man than you do, the air changes fast. The breaking point allegedly came during a private get-together where Tiny confronted Shekinah directly. According to someone who claims to have been present, Tiny didn't come in yelling or screaming. She came in calm, but serious. She asked Shekinah if there was any truth to the rumors that she had been spending time with T.I. when she wasn't around. The room went silent. Shekinah reportedly tried to laugh it off, saying people were doing too much online and that Tiny should know better than to believe gossip. But Tiny wasn't satisfied. She had noticed changes in energy, certain things not adding up, and she wanted answers. The source claims Tiny told her, "I've always loved you like family. You were in my home, around my kids, my husband, and I never once questioned your intentions. But lately, I've been hearing things I can't ignore." The tone wasn't angry, it was hurt, the kind of pain that comes from disappointment, not rage. That moment, witnesses say, changed everything between them. Shekinah reportedly got defensive, saying people were jealous of their bond and were trying to destroy it. But to Tiny, the damage was already done. Even the possibility that her best friend might have crossed a boundary was enough to shatter her trust. After that confrontation, the two reportedly stopped speaking for a while. Fans picked up on it instantly. Gone were the playful Instagram lives, the TikTok videos, the friendly appearances. When Shekinah later made emotional statements online about feeling betrayed and misunderstood, many assumed she was talking about Tiny. She claimed that she had been dragged into situations that had nothing to do with her, and that she'd been loyal to the wrong people. Tiny, meanwhile, remained quiet, but her silence spoke volumes. Around this same time, cryptic posts started appearing on Tiny's Instagram stories, quotes about snakes disguised as friends, loyalty being tested, and protecting your peace. Fans knew exactly who she was talking about. It's that quiet kind of shade that only someone who's truly been hurt can throw. Subtle, but sharp enough to draw blood. Meanwhile, T.I., of course, denied everything. When confronted about the whispers of an inappropriate relationship with Shekinah, he allegedly brushed it off, calling it nonsense and another internet fantasy. But the internet wasn't so quick to let it go. Some pointed out how conveniently T.I. had avoided being seen publicly with Shekinah since the rumors first broke. Others said it was just a PR move to avoid fueling more gossip. Either way, their once visible friendship was gone. What makes the situation even more tragic is how deep Tiny and Shekinah's bond used to be. These weren't just friends, they were chosen sisters. Shekinah had been there through Tiny's lowest moments, from relationship struggles to career shifts to public scrutiny. She was one of the few people Tiny trusted completely, and for Tiny, trust is everything. The idea that someone she brought into her inner circle could betray her, or even make her feel betrayed, cut deeper than any public scandal ever could. Fans were divided in their reactions. Some took Tiny's side, saying that once a friend gets too close to your man, it's time to draw a line. Others defended Shekinah, claiming that people had blown things out of proportion, and that women's friendships often get torn apart by speculation and jealousy. Social media became a battlefield of opinions, with hashtags and comment sections full of takes about loyalty, boundaries, and betrayal. Some even argued that Tiny's issue wasn't really about T.I. at all. It was about respect. Because even if nothing physical ever happened, emotional overstepping can be just as damaging. Shekinah later addressed parts of the drama in a live session, saying she felt hurt by how things unfolded. She insisted she had never betrayed Tiny and that she still loved her like a sister. But her tone was different, more bitter, more defeated. She said she'd been used as a scapegoat for issues that existed long before she got involved. And whether people believed her or not, her pain was obvious. Shekinah has always worn her heart on her sleeve, and in that moment, it was clear she felt misunderstood. Tiny, on the other hand, chose not to clap back publicly. Instead, she focused on her family, her music, and her peace. She began appearing more often with T.I. in public again, showing a united front. To many, that was her way of saying, "I'm moving on and I'm protecting what's mine." But insiders still claim that, privately, Tiny has never fully healed from that situation. Losing Shekinah didn't just mean losing a friend. It meant losing a part of her history, a person who had seen her through everything. The entire ordeal raises bigger questions about friendship and boundaries, especially in the entertainment world. When fame, money, and personal relationships mix, loyalty gets tested in ways ordinary friendships never experience. Everyone wants access, everyone wants influence, and And sometimes those lines blur without anyone realizing until it's too late. For Tiny and Shekinah, what started as an unbreakable sisterhood turned into a cautionary tale about how quickly trust can crumble when rumors and egos collide. And then there's T.I., the silent center of the storm. Throughout all of this, he has continued to focus on his own ventures, avoiding direct confrontation about the issue. Some fans say his silence makes him look guilty. Others think it's just his way of not feeding into drama. But one thing's certain, his relationships with both women will never be the same again. Even if there was no affair, the perception alone was enough to destroy what used to be a trio of loyalty and love. As the months passed, both women appeared to go their separate ways professionally and personally. Tiny leaned more into her family and business ventures, while Shekinah kept building her brand independently, though she often hinted at how hurt she was by people she once called friends. Every time she got emotional on live or posted a vague caption about fake people, fans rushed in with comments, trying to piece together the puzzle. But one thing's clear, both of them are still living with the emotional aftermath of that fallout.
However, Tiny had long been seen as the picture of elegance, poise, and unwavering loyalty. Fans admired her not just as the wife of T, but as a woman who seemed to embody strength and resilience in the face of constant scrutiny. She was the ultimate symbol of grace, holding it together while standing beside a man whose life was constantly under the public microscope. Headlines threatened to paint their marriage as unstable. Rumors questioned every move. Yet Tiny remained the embodiment of control, carefully shielding her family, her reputation, and her love from the relentless gaze of fame-hungry media. Yet, beneath the surface, cracks were quietly forming. Tiny faced whispers she couldn't fully decipher, mysterious messages that appeared harmless, and late-night meetings that she struggled to explain. Trusting the man she had built a life with, she brushed aside doubts, convincing herself that the love she had known was real and steadfast. Little did she know, the person she trusted most was leading a double life, hidden behind a facade that had fooled everyone, including the woman who had stood by him through thick and thin. The reality was about to explode in ways no one could have imagined. Then came Shekinah, a woman who had once been a close friend, a confidant, someone trusted with secrets and intimate moments that few outside their circle could ever understand. Shekinah had seen everything, the private whispers, the clandestine meetings, the hidden truths that Tiny could never have imagined. And for reasons that left fans speculating, she decided that the world needed to know the truth. Her revelation was not subtle or private. It was loud, public, and backed by evidence so damning it threatened to unravel Tiny's carefully constructed world. The first tremor of chaos arrived when a live interview featuring Shekinah surfaced online. Her words were precise, sharp, and cutting. She revealed secret texts, hidden encounters, and private meetings with T, moments that destroyed the illusions Tiny had held onto for years. Screenshots, leaked videos, and corroborating accounts spread like wildfire across social media platforms. Fans were stunned, gossip mills exploded, and the internet transformed into a global courtroom where every rumor, every hidden truth, and every betrayal was dissected and analyzed. Tiny, once untouchable in the eyes of her admirers, now faced public heartbreak on a scale she had never experienced. For the first time, the woman fans had seen as a symbol of unbreakable strength appeared human, fragile, vulnerable, wounded. Tears flowed in ways that had never been witnessed outside her inner circle. Messages poured in from all directions, supportive, speculative, and even critical. Her privacy had vanished, her pain now a public spectacle. Yet, amidst this chaos, a spark ignited within Tiny, a spark that would not merely help her survive, but would compel her to reclaim her life, her dignity, and her power. Meanwhile, T faced a storm he never could have anticipated. What he believed could remain a secret was now public knowledge. The very image he had cultivated, the loyal husband, the devoted family man, crumbled under the weight of leaked texts, video clips, and corroborating accounts. Attempts at damage control failed miserably, as social media debated endlessly. Was Tiny naive, or was T a manipulator hiding behind fame? Each revelation intensified public fascination and raised the stakes higher than anyone could have predicted. Enough was enough. Tiny realized that she would no longer sit back as a victim of betrayal. She hired top-tier legal experts, meticulously compiled evidence, and prepared to take on both T and Shekinah in a legal arena that would become a spectacle watched worldwide. Every screenshot, every recording, and every piece of evidence meticulously chronicled years of deception, lies, and broken trust. The courtroom was more than a legal battlefield. It was a stage where Tiny would fight not only for justice, but for her identity, dignity, and self-respect. Cameras flashed, social media live streams captured every angle, and murmurs from the crowd created a nearly unbearable tension. Tiny understood that she was not just confronting her husband or a betraying friend. She was standing against the entire narrative that had attempted to define her life. T entered the room exuding his usual calm, but cracks beneath the surface were visible. His carefully crafted image of devotion had been shattered, and the world watched him scramble to regain control, whispering to his lawyers, hoping Tiny might falter. But she didn't. Every calculated lie, manipulation, and secret had been anticipated. Tiny was poised and ready to confront it all. The courtroom drama unfolded like a Hollywood thriller. Tiny's legal team presented evidence with precision and focus. Screenshots, videos, and receipts left no room for doubt. Each bombshell revelation struck T's image like a sledgehammer, exposing not just his betrayal, but the extent of Shekinah's involvement. Her attempts to intimidate through testimony backfired, only strengthening Tiny's case. Emotionally, Tiny maintained a composed exterior, but beneath the surface, years of loyalty, pain, and betrayal weighed heavily. Memories flooded back, defending T against rumors, covering for him during gossip storms, standing by his side through trials that would have broken anyone else. And now, the reality of her husband's and friends' duplicity crashed down like a tidal wave. Her tears were measured, her voice steady, but every word she spoke resonated with raw intensity, echoing throughout the courtroom and into the hearts of millions watching worldwide. Then came the ultimate bombshell, hidden footage of T and Shekinah meeting in private, revealing unmistakable intent. Ambiguity had vanished. There was no room for defense. This wasn't just a breach of trust, it was an expose that would forever alter the narrative surrounding all three parties. Gasps filled the courtroom. Cameras captured stunned reactions from spectators, lawyers, and even the judge. Tiny faced the moment with unshakable strength and poise, speaking about her journey, heartbreak, and the courage it took to confront not only betrayal, but the relentless scrutiny of her global audience. Her words were authentic, powerful, and deeply inspiring. Outside the courtroom, social media erupted. Fans dissected every clip, every image, every gesture. Tiny, once a silent observer, had become the ultimate symbol of empowerment. Even as T and Shekinah faced backlash, Tiny leveraged her victory to rebuild her brand, influence, and image. Every public appearance showcased her renewed strength, her poise, and her unbroken spirit. The world witnessed a woman transformed, someone who had endured humiliation, heartbreak, and betrayal, yet emerged with dignity and tact, and her voice amplified for all to hear. Even with her victory secured, the drama was far from over. Questions lingered. Could T salvage his reputation? Would Shekinah attempt to come back? Were there still hidden layers of betrayal waiting to surface? Every new post, leak, or statement had the power to reignite the scandal, keeping Tiny and the world in suspense. At the end of the day, this isn't just about gossip or celebrity drama. It's about friendship, loyalty, and how fragile trust becomes when the lines between personal and professional life blur. Tiny and Shekinah taught fans that even the closest bonds can fracture when communication breaks down and insecurities take over.
Whether or not there was any truth to the affair rumors almost doesn't matter anymore because the damage has already been done. The friendship that once brought laughter to millions of viewers is now a painful reminder that sometimes love and loyalty don't survive the storm. So as fans continue to speculate and dig through old clips and posts for clues, the truth might remain known only to the three people at the center of it all: Tiny, Shekinah, and T.I. But one thing's undeniable. The betrayal, whether real or perceived, changed everything. It turned sisters into strangers, allies into enemies, and left a mark that fame and forgiveness might never fully erase. So, what do you think really happened between Tiny and Shekinah? Was this all a case of misunderstanding and social media exaggeration? Or did a secret truth finally come to light? Either way, the story reminds us that even the tightest bonds can fall apart when trust is broken. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories just like this one. Because in the world of celebrity friendships, sometimes the real drama isn't on stage, it's behind closed doors.